everybody, this is Dan Miller for Bluegrass Unlimited magazine, and today we're continuing our series on building a Scruggs style banjo vocabulary. And we've been playing stuff in the key of G, and I'm going to give you some more phrases to build, to add to your vocabulary this time, and then we're going to start to put some of those phrases together just as examples. And then next time we'll incorporate some of the phrases that we've been using over the G chord in the key of G to play a song, Blue Ridge Cabin Home. Okay, so we're building slowly and steadily. The next phrase that I want to teach, and these are, again, there's a tab sheet. If you go to bluegrassunlimited.com's lessons page, there's a PDF tab sheet that has these licks tabbed out. So the first one is, so the G string, and then the high G, the backward roll, 3-2 pull off, open D, open G. Alright? Okay, so the next lick's going to look like this. Hammer, open D, hammer, open D, open G, high G, pull off, 3-2. Alright, so that pull off, it's got a little bit more of a time value than the hammers. So a little bit more of a time value than some of your other 3-2 pull-offs, so it's a little bit delayed. The next lick goes like this. So play open G, hammer, then hammer pull. I don't think we've done this yet, where you go to hammer and then pull immediately. Okay, so it's a triplet. So you're going to go. So the next lick is going to be like this. So I'm going to pull, pull, open D, open G, and D again, and then high G. Now the next lick is similar, but instead of doing the 3-2 pull in the front and then the 2-3 hammer, we're going to do it the opposite. We're going to do. Alright, and then one more lick that we're going to add in here is going to be slide, and do a kind of alternating roll. So it's slide, then hit the B string, then pull off. Okay? So that's our group of licks for this time. Again, just look at the tab sheet to look at the tablature of what they look like. And one thing I'll point out again that I pointed out before is you'll see all of these licks that we've done so far in the key of G. Of course, they're going to use notes of the chord, which are D, G, B, D, another G, right? Meaning open strings. And in the key of G, in a G tuning, you've got all your strings are either G, B, or D, the notes of the chord. If you look at all the licks we've done so far, we're adding a E note here for some of them, sometimes pulling that off, sometimes hammering that on. We're taking an A note here, and then they were either sliding up to B flat or sliding up to B, okay? Then sometimes we're going to hammer from a 2 to a 3, really the 3 3 is that D note, right? And then sometimes we can use that E note on the D string. We've used that. I think that's pretty much all we've done. And if you look at the notes that are there, we've got, of course, the 3 notes of the chord, but the only other notes we've added really are the E and the A and the B flat sometimes. If we slide up to this B flat, sometimes we'll slide all the way up to the B. In that case, we're just adding the E and the A notes. So we've added the E note on the D string, we've added an A note on the G string. We're going to that D note on the B string, which is also an open D, we've played that, and that E note there. So that's all major pentatonic notes, except for that B flat. And if we add that B flat to the major pentatonic, that's classified as what they call a major blues scale. The major pentatonic, which in the key of G is G, A, B, D, E, those 5 notes. If we add a B flat to that, don't take the B out, keep the B in. Major pentatonic's a 5-note scale. We make a 6-note scale and add the B flat. That's called the major blues. And it's interesting to me to see that all of these Scruggs licks are only using those notes. Out of the G scale, we're really not playing the C note over the G chord. We're not playing the F sharp note over the G chord, which are the other 2 notes in the full G scale. All of these licks are either major pentatonic or major blues, depending on if you choose to play the B or the B flat with your slide from the A note on the G string. That's interesting to me because it sort of tells me that that major pentatonic or that major blues scale, either one of those 2 scales, are kind of defining what we're playing in that Scruggs style vocabulary. And so if you want to come up with your own licks, use that vocabulary. Use those, if we want to look at the notes of these scales as maybe words relating to spoken language, you're using those words to build your phrases. And that's interesting in looking at how to do this, because you can start to put together your own sentences, your own phrases now, knowing that that's your vocabulary. Those are your words that you're using to build your phrases. And even when you're going up the neck, you say, okay, where are those notes up the neck? Let me use those and figure out some cool licks up the neck based on that vocabulary. All right? So now let me string some of those things together. We've had a bunch of licks that we've used, phrases, I'll call them. Usually 1-bar phrases that we've built over the course of these last several lessons. And so here's a good long phrase that you can end a solo with. Okay, and we'll use that next time for the song we work on next time. Another good phrase that you could use is we'll do that coming up in another song like 9-Pound Hammer, a G part going into the C part of 9-Pound Hammer. Another one, that the first lick we went over today could be added to this triplet lick. That's another couple phrases that you can slide together that way. This would be another good ending phrase, or you could add even more to it. Add the first phrase again to the end, or you could add a similar phrase to the second phrase. Instead of a triplet, just do another hammer-on like that. So work on these licks, and then the next time we will work on the song Blue Ridge Cabin Home and try to incorporate some of these phrases in there. over the G chord. And then after we do that, we'll maybe look at 9-pound hammer, and then maybe we'll do some C chord vocabulary and some D chord vocabulary, and then again try to put it all together in the context of some songs. Okay, this is Dan Miller for Bluegrass Unlimited magazine. We'll see you next time.